looking good. And now, if we just give it a bit of a rotation, there we go. Shocks complete. Syringe. Like that.
Private party upstairs on 3 tonight. Still yeah.
I did the door cards inside as well. Alright, what's going on, everybody? I just finished editing the video. I did a bit of a different vibe with this video, but it felt right and it felt really fun and creative to make. And now it's time for our quote of the video. We're gonna do another Rick Rubin quote. I can't be stopped. Alright, this is in Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act. Oscar Wilde said that some things are too important to be taken seriously. Art is one of those things. Setting the bar low, especially to get started, frees you to play, explore, and test without attachment to results. Let me think about that. Oscar Wilde said that some things are too important to be taken seriously. Art is one of those things. Setting the bar low, especially to get started, frees you to play. I like that. Explore and test without attachment to results. I think it's really freeing to kind of like let go of all expectations and just kind of just like flow. Like, I don't even know how else to say it. There's a really fun quote that I've been listening to in this song. And I look at this every day, and it says, "The way to become one with the universe is to trust it, to be able to drift like a cloud and flow like water." And to me, that's just kind of like a way of reminding yourself that, you know, you're not in control of this life fully. Like, there's so much uncertainty and there's so much that we can't guarantee or rely on because it's just not up to us. But what you can do is you can create things, you know? You can not worry about what other people think, not even worry about yourself ridiculing your own work, because it doesn't matter. What everybody else thinks around you, anybody who's going to judge you and say something about your art or your work, anything that you're proud to put out into the world, if anybody has anything negative to say about that, it doesn't matter. Like, genuinely, like there's nothing about that matters. All that matters is that you are trying to add to the light of this universe in some way. Like, and I don't know how you want to break that down, but I think it basically boils down to, in life, that there's good and there's evil. And as long as you're contributing to good and defending yourself from evil, you're making the world a better place and you're doing your job. I think literally everything else is trivial. And I think that just like lies on your morality. So whatever your morals are, you need to be brutally honest with yourself. Like, what are my moral, honest beliefs and virtues? Everything else doesn't matter. You just want to add to the positivity of the world, because the negativity is going to try to creep its way in consistently. Always. It always does. But you create boundaries and set up defenses against people and ideas, and even in your own mind against self-sabotaging negative ideas, you know? And I think this quote kind of approaches this in like a distant way, in that you just need to lower your expectations and put out some work for like, and then you can start. And I think the lowering of expectations is really what your fear of judgment from others is. And when you can negate that in your mind logically and go, well, what everybody else around me thinks is so temporary. The only thing permanent about us is the light that we can emit into the world. If we can add positivity and create a better world for just one other person, that's going to have a domino effect, and that can last for hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe forever. It's your way of affecting the longevity of, you know, this experience, this world. And I think it's pretty freeing just to think, like, you know, in some ways, like, in the middle of this build, I created this art project, and this is it's a skull that the Stoic philosophers often would keep on their desks when they're studying, and it's called a memento mori. And that's basically a reminder of death. And it's not in like a morbid way. It's and I even put on the other side what it means, because I think a lot of people look at this skull and think so. It says, life is fleeting, make the most of it. And the Stoic philosophy in this is that, you know, you don't have forever. Our lives are finite. Like, you only have so much time. So go make some creativity, add some type of light to the world. You know, that's the only thing that's gonna last. Everything else is just gonna fade, honestly. And that is what it is. And then on the top of it, I said, be the light. And then I put a few other kind of things that are kind of personal, like grateful, gratitude. I think like humbling yourself in gratitude. Like, instead of saying, I'm worried about what other people are gonna think about my project or my artwork or my Hot Wheels customs or whatever, instead of worrying about what they're going to think, you just disregard it. It doesn't matter. You focus on the light that you're bringing. You know what I mean? If one person who sees this video is inspired and finds a way to add light into their life, and that inspires one other person, that's way more than you could do if you tried to appease and have everyone's approval around you. Because if you do something that's like taking a leap of faith, you are going to get judgment and ridicule. But that shouldn't stop you from adding to the light. Because anything that does try to stop you, I consider the darkness. I consider evil in some way. So if people's judgment is stopping you, then that's an evil impediment in your path. And you just need to like move around it, sidestep it, you know, and that's how the only way that you sidestep it is by setting boundaries. And maybe that's with people or, you know, groups of people, ideas, and your own self-sabotaging beliefs in your mind. You just need to disregard all of that. Like, move around it because you need to set boundaries. I'm not going to, you know, maybe this group is not good because they're always negative, and maybe you try to have a conversation and try to, like, you know, ask for people to understand like where you're coming from, and maybe that they'll start treating you differently in a more positive light. But some people are held up, and you can't always like pull somebody up from a sinking ship, you know what I mean? Because it might pull you down and you might drown with it. So there's points where you need to kind of leave that off and just say, well, okay, maybe I need to do this little bit with, you know, one less person or whatever it takes. But as long as your focus is on good and the light that you can bring to the world, then that's great. And I think that goes hand in hand with what I put on the brow of this skull. It says look forward, and that just, to me, I don't see the point in reminiscing in the past. Like, it's already happened. But I also put on the back, but always protect your light. And that's where it comes back to boundaries. You know, I think it's super important. You have to find ways when people have negative energy that are, you know, dampening or causing your light to fade. That's where you have to set boundaries against the darkness. Otherwise, you know, you can fall into darkness for sure, 100%. And that's, I think, a consistent path. A lot of people find themselves in loops, and I've been in those negative loop cycles. But you have to just find a way to set boundaries and protect the light. Like, that's the most important thing that you can do. So anyways, this has turned into a big rant, and, you know, even more than the builds. But to me, the builds and the customs that I make are my form of expression of art. And the greater force behind that is just me trying to add some amount of light. And I think hopefully by me explaining some things, like, and talking about, you know, these ideas that jumble around my mind, hopefully maybe one person, you know, thinks about life a little bit differently, or thinks about their day a little bit differently, or thinks about their week or hour, or thinks a little bit differently for 2 minutes. And that makes the world just that much more light or positive. And that's would be like the coolest gift that you could possibly receive or give, I think. So I don't know. I'm shooting my shot. You know what I mean? Anyways, so I need to go to sleep because it's almost 4 a.m. I've been up all night getting this build done. Not getting the build done, sorry, but getting the editing done. Because to me, I feel like the execution of the editing is just vital. Like, having everything just like flowing and going. It's just, yeah. So I'm really excited to start working on the next video. I have a couple of ideas of what I want to do. There's some areas in my custom skill set that I want to improve. So I kind of need to go back and look at and see if there's any ways I can do some practice. Maybe paint 10 cars at a time and work on different techniques and try different techniques. I was thinking about potentially even making a video on that. So stay tuned. Either it's going to be a build next or some type of cool project. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I have so much gratitude that you even took the time to press play, even if there's one viewer. I'm like, that's amazing. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, whatever. I'm too tired.
Somebody tell Luke,
Peace.
drop the beat.